Wilhelm, you're back in town. It's so nice to see you.
Yeah, you really.
Maybe we could hear some nice words from you to jolt us with the coffee.
This week's parsha is Parshas Vigash. In Parshas Vigash, you have two lessons from the same person who steps up to the plate when there are other people could have done the job, but for some reason he gets the responsibility, he gets the credit to do it. The beginning of the parsha is Vigash of Yehuda, and Yehuda goes and stands up for his brother Binyamin. Later on in the parsha it says Vas Yehuda shalach lefanav lahayras goishna. The Yaakov sends Yehuda to establish the yeshiva. What's up with Yehuda? There are 10 tzaddikim, there are many great sons there. They all could have done it. And for each one of these two, there is a question why somebody else should have done it instead of him. To go fight for Binyamin. If you look in last week's, and you look in the parsha, it says that Reuven said, God forbid, Ashnei bonai amos, that I'm willing to give away my 2 sons as a guarantee. I'm coming back with Binyamin. Yaakov says, no, I'm not accepting you. Yehuda comes and says, Anoichi arvenu, I will take responsibility. Yaakov texts him, excuse me, Reuven is older. Reuven gave someone's life away. And the Yaakov says, not you, Yehuda. What's up with Yehuda? And it comes to establish a yeshiva, there's an obvious question. You're sending Yehuda to establish a yeshiva? Yehuda is the melech. Send Yisachar, the Ben Torah. Yisachar is the one who sits and learns. He knows what a yeshiva looks like. What's going on? Why Yehuda? And the answer is that perhaps both of these things are connected. When Reuven says, Eshnei bonai amos, there's 2 problems with it. First of all, Reuven had more than 2 kids. Reuven had 4 children. He's basically saying, I'm giving away part of my life, but I'm not totally invested in this. And second of all, when Reuven says Eshnei bonai amos, he's not invested in himself. Okay, I'm going to try, and if not, somebody else loses. God forbid. Yehuda says, Anoichi arvenu. I'm putting my whole life and soul into this, and I personally am invested to make sure this happens. Yaakov hears such a response from a Yehuda. He says, oh, you're the right person. And perhaps this is the type of person that only a person like him can establish a yeshiva. You take a Yisachar, he's a great Talmud Chacham, but you know what the yeshiva is going to look like when a Talmud Chacham establishes it. He doesn't understand the Gashmis, he doesn't understand and the structure of yeshiva. It'll look like a Chassidish Malav Malka. You need a Yehuda, a Melech, who he has the Gashmis understanding of what a yeshiva should be like, and B, Yehuda who comes with such arvus meaning such loyalty, responsibility for another person, only he can establish a yeshiva. Now, I once heard a phenomenal word. I heard this from Rabbi Yoslavsky, that why Taka when Yehuda sends why Taka did Yaakov want Yehuda to establish a yeshiva? And he says when Yosef said, and there's a question. The Gemara says in Yoma that Miyamav shalav Yisenu loy parsha yeshiva mimitzrayim loy parsha yeshiva. Every one of our avos and the shvatim had yeshiva. So Yosef must have had an underground yeshiva. If Yosef had a yeshiva somewhere, why do you need to establish a new one? So he says a Chassidish Avard. When Yosef sent the Agolis to Yaakov to bring him to Mitzrayim, he sent Agolis. Rashi says, why Agolis? Because to remind him, to show him that he's still up to date. This is the last sugya that we learned over 20 years ago, the sugya of Eglah Rufa. Yaakov sees this, he says, oy vey. Azam is snagdish yeshiva for 21 years. They're learning the same sugya villachnish. That they're moving, they're going. 21 years, they're elevating themselves from sugya to sugya. And that's the type of yeshiva we have to have. And you have to have a yeshiva that raises bachrim, raises talmidim to have arvus, have responsibility for another yid. And that's why Yehuda is the one that establishes it.